I have to ask you, like, how would you react to if I say Ali Fazal is a content creator?
Sorry. When I started discovering French cinema या Japanese cinema, अब उसकी सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती थी कि .srt फाइल ढूंढनी है
और लैग जब आता था, जब लाइक सबटाइटल और वीडियो में लैग आता था.
Bro, that's like death of cinema.
दुनिया में हर चीज के ऐड आते हैं, but have you ever noticed you never see an ad of a socks?
Oh yeah, man. Why? There's a beautiful book called House of Leaves. उसका genre कोई मुझे बता दे, भाई मैं मतलब 100 रुपए दे दूँ.
रिचा वाले में 1 लाख की बातें हो रही थी तब.
बड़े लोग हो तुम लोग.
And when is the next Mirzapur season coming? Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Chalchitra Talks. I am at Magnetic Fields Festival right now. आज हम एक बहुत ही special episode release कर रहे हैं. It's with the actor Ali Fazal. You have seen him in a lot of films and shows. तो अली के साथ मेरी बहुत different kind of एक conversation हुई है. There is some possibility that this might be the last episode of season 1 of Longest Interview. We actually forgot that the cameras were rolling. So something very special came out of it. And I would love to know what you thought of it. So without much more details, let's jump right inside the conversation I had with Ali Fazal. Hi Ali, how are you? Welcome to Chalchitra Talks.
Yes.
आपने आज वो टी-शर्ट पहनी है जो मैंने पहनी होती है हर बार. We are still wearing the same brand. So अली हमारे शो पे लाइक आपको जैसे मैं बता रहा था कॉन्सेप्ट इज जस्ट रिकमेंडेशंस. गाइस हम लोग थोड़ा नाच इसलिए रहे हैं क्योंकि पीछे सेमी विसर्जन टाइप लाइक बहुत लाइक बैंड बाजा बज रहा है.
Yeah.
So we are trying to incorporate it.
अब एक रिदम मिल गया अपने को, अभी उस पे खेलते हैं, ठीक है?
So the idea is recommendations and we talk about things that the guest is passionate about. वो कुछ भी हो सकता है. Movies, music, books. कौन-कौन सी ऐसी नीश है जिनके बारे में सिर्फ आप इंटरेस्टेड हो और आपको बात करने का मौका नहीं मिलता? Shit man, मिल जाए यार कोई इसके बारे में बात करने. कोई ऐसी कोई नीश बताओ ना.
Thinking of something cool thing to talk about. The thing is, I've been actually working on like a couple of ideas, but those are IPs, which talking about those will be weird. तो मेरे सारे जो दोस्त हैं, my closest gang, सारे techies हैं. तो and so we all grew up on sciences. So yes, we have these weird jam sessions, and we call them like this weekly. I'm not going to use the word.
Jam jar dynasty.
थोड़ा अश्लील शब्द है, but it's called a jam. Something jam. So anyway, तो वो हमारे दोस्तों के बीच में होता है, and no matter where we are, one is in Sweden, one is somewhere else, you know, they're all, one is some IIT X whatever, हम मिलते हैं and we jam, and whoever has ideas, right, like startup ideas or whatever, so we actually put a lot of thought into it. The trickle effect of that, those ideas, 2 of which are actually now going to become like beta versions of whatever, hopefully. And there's a beautiful demand that I'm hoping to crack, which another country is already doing on a very small level, somewhere we found today. But I will hopefully announce it. But anyway, the trickle effect of that is sometimes talking about going deep into quantum, yeah, you know, and then of course patching that with movies from your noir, your Nolan, mostly Nolan because those are the more sort of pop, famous, mostly known films.
Right.
So it's kind of easy to dissect them and,
right,
you know, do full brain farts happening.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you know.
Tell me about the films which you watched when you were in school, जो आपको याद है. और ये मैंने फिल्में देखी थी जो मेरे को आज तक याद है.
I grew up and this was almost like religious. मेरी मदर जो थी वो मुझे every week she used to take me to the cinema. लखनऊ में एक जगह थी जहाँ अंग्रेज़ी फिल्में प्ले होती थी, मेफेयर सिनेमा बंद हो गया. एंड वहाँ आई रिमेंबर रीरन्स होते थे. सो फर्स्ट फिल्म आई रिमेंबर वॉचिंग इन अ हॉल, इंग्लिश फिल्म की बात कर रहा हूँ, वॉज साउंड ऑफ म्यूजिक, सॉरी चिटी चिटी बैंग बैंग. साउंड ऑफ म्यूजिक कैसेट पे देखी थी. एंड आई डोंट नो व्हाई शी केप्ट इंसिस्टिंग आई हैव टू वॉच दीज. फिर चुपके से घर पे एक दिन प्ले हो रही थी स्कारफेस. Now these are films that you know cinema suddenly happened. एंड इनफैक्ट द फर्स्ट सीड ऑफ सिनेमा जो हमारा जो डाला गया था वो बेड टाइम स्टोरीज में डाला गया था मेरे दिमाग में, क्योंकि हम सुनते रहते थे फेरी टेल्स और फलाना कहानियाँ सुन सुन के बड़े होते हो. सडनली एट वन पॉइंट मुझे एक कहानी सुनाई जा रही थी इन डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ फैमिली बेस्ड इन न्यूयॉर्क, एंड द फैमिली हैपेंस टू बी एन इटालियन फैमिली. सो स्लोली वी हर्ड दैट. एक पार्ट, दो ही पार्ट सुने. बड़े होके फिर मैंने वो फिल्म देखी. Turns out to be Godfather, of course. So I go back to my mother. I said, "ये क्या है?" So I mean, बहुत दिलचस्प कहानी थी उस वक्त. You know, I said, "Yeah, it's one of my favorite films." So I thought you might like, and I actually enjoyed it. Of course, when I watched it, then she hadn't seen the third part. So then फिर हमने साथ में ऐसे we used to do all these runs. But I got introduced to cinema at a very, very early age.
And with such great films.
Great films, and then Brando happened. And then to बचपन से then it was watching a few performances of him. Again, I had nothing to do with acting. This was pure. My biggest joy was that I can make up things. People is screen पे ना, somebody is creating reality, which was maybe not a good effect on me at the time because मुझे याद है हमारे यहाँ एक competitive culture था, you know, कि तुम्हें marks लाने हैं, तुम्हें पढ़ाई करनी है. Why aren't you in extracurricular? मेरे फादर का मेरे साथ रिलेशनशिप मोस्टली एक टेलीफोन के साथ जो होता है. I never lived with him. He used to be outside working, you know, whatever. तो बात होती थी वो that was the मतलब हफ्ते में एक दफ़ा कि पढ़ रही है कि अब कॉल हो रही है and you know पूरी क्लास ली जाएगी. And I slowly started I used to make up stories और मुझे बड़ा मज़ा आने लगा. तो एक दिन मैं ना कबाड़ की दुकान साइड मेरे घर के पास होती थी, मेरी दोस्ती थी उससे, क्योंकि उससे हम लोग ये बॉल और बैट वैट सब लेते रहते थे. तो ही यूज्ड टू हैव दीज कप्स. तो मैंने ना वो बोलना नहीं चाहिए, मैंने एक दफ़ा जाके मैं बाकायदा कहानी पूरी बना दी मैंने कि मैं एलोक्यूशन में फर्स्ट आया हूँ और मैम ने ये किया एंड बैक स्टोरीज एंड दिस एंड दैट एंड H.W. लॉन्गफेलो की कोई पोइट्री थी. And I knew the poem at the time. और मैंने रिसाइट की घर पे और मैंने कहा कि भाई मुझे सराहाया गया है. I've been, you know, given this, ये मुझे प्राइज मिला है, ये वो, and I was like amazed. And slowly then, you know, I started building characters and I used to then have this weird skits that I used to perform in front of my mother. तो वो एक अलग एक दुनिया बन गई थी. This was all before, why I'm saying before school is, I think, it was during school, but school for some reason in my head started class 7th because 7th में मैं boarding में चला गया था in Dehradun. So all the time before that was in Lucknow, where I grew up with my mother and grandparents. So books happened there. I was exposed to a lot of literature.
Very nice. And तो जो मूवी कंजम्पशन बढ़ा कब, like when you are religiously, was there a phase?
College में आके when I came to Bombay, I was in Xavier's. I realized, and हम लोग every year all of our friends we used to religiously follow the Oscars, right? अब वो 4 बजे सुबह उठ के हमारी मैराथन्स होती थी. I'm sure everybody used to do that or does that. पूरी मैराथन्स होती थी. But we realized यार इंडिया में रिलीज नहीं हो रहा है कुछ. So and I'm not saying this, nobody should ever do this, but at the time we were like, मतलब the only way to get it was भाई आप डाउनलोड करो. We became kings. मतलब हाँ मतलब टीवी भर के हमारे पास, name it. And because I was an actor at the time, I'd started little theater in first year college. So by then my nazariya was, okay, I have to cover each actor. So Al Pacino, all 60 plus films. Robert De Niro, all his films. Brando, all his films. Everybody does this. All you first go for the gangsters. Then you start discovering, you know, all the cool guys. You know, Paul Newman and I mean, name it. Endless. The list is endless. Then we moved on to directors. And मुझे आज भी याद है मेरा हॉस्टल सी रोड पे था. वहाँ पे मैंने ना एक लिस्ट शुरू कर दी थी बनानी बाथरूम में. हाँ वहाँ के बाथरूम में. बाथरूम में मैं लिस्ट बनाता था. वो बढ़ती चली गई.
Of every film you watched?
Every film that I brought to my
the
to my
world.
ecosystem, to the world, and to many people who benefited from that.
This is so cool.
So, and it's so weird how the world comes around, because I remember उस पे एक mark आ जाता था, DVD screener meant only for members. Today I am an Academy member, so I get those very screeners. So I'm like shit. I remember telling somebody there in LA, you know, we were sitting chatting, and I was like, oh shoot, like this I've seen these, man. This little watermark.
Would you have a photo of this? ये bathroom वाले ऐसे लिख गई.
Somebody would have.
Yeah.
क्योंकि eventually bathroom में space नहीं रह गई थी, तो lift पे लिखना शुरू कर दिया था. And then after I passed out, apparently people carried on. And then suddenly one day whitewash हो गया, वो painting हो
ये
गई.
फोटो लगाएंगे हम अगर एपिसोड के बीच में if you find it.
कहीं होगी. I think my friend Alap or someone might have. I'll check.
Yeah.
And yeah, we used to watch, and I used to force my friends to watch every night. There was a film night. कि वो film तो देखनी है रात को. And we had to cover up on all the releases. By the time the Oscars were there, we were all set. मतलब सट्टाबाजी चल रही थी.
तो जब तक नॉमिनेशन आती थी और ऑस्कर आने से पहले तक आपको पता होता था.
Yeah. So that's why it was a thing. मतलब one person was assigned, breakfast तुम बनाओगे, ये करेगा, ये लाएगा.
हम भी यही करते थे यार कॉलेज में. मतलब I तो got into this channel exists because of FOMO. Because हमें when I came to Bombay initially एक दो बार मजाक उड़ा, तूने ये नहीं देखा, वो नहीं देखा. Internship के लिए when I used to come, and then I went back and I'm like, let me watch it. So 2 films a day, 3 films a day, 4 films a day. बैठे और when you watch it in an insignificant way, like एक पता नहीं मैंने किसी इंटरव्यू में सुना था, वो गुलजार साहब बोल रहे थे, you don't do it जैसे आप पार्टी में कूल लगोगे, you just do it because you do it.
Yeah man, you have, like, it's love, it's pure love.
It's pure love.
तो वो तो जैसे when I started discovering French cinema या Japanese cinema, then I realized, oh shit, यहाँ तो country wise चल रहा है भाई. अब्बास कुरस्तामी, मतलब बाप रे. Then Iranian cinema opened up.
हाँ.
अब उसकी सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती थी कि .srt फाइल ढूंढनी है.
Dude.
I hope you know the.
और लैग जब आता था, जब like subtitle और वीडियो में लैग आता था.
Bro, that's like death of cinema. So you can't religiously, which is why today also people get irritated with me when I'm like, bhai, I can't miss 1 minute of the start of the film. If we miss it, I'm happy to walk out. I'll watch it another time. Because it's so sacrosanct for us. Your final piece of the edit of whoever somewhere has made it is there, no? This is community watching.
I think this is why one of the reasons why I'm so excited on Mami. इतने टाइम
बाद हो रहा है. I just got my pass. I told them, I said, they're like, yeah, you will get it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I said, no, but I need a full pass. They're like, नहीं आप बताइए कौन सी देखनी है. I said, no, I just want to enter normally, like just watch. There's a cool lineup.
Yeah, we released. हमने आज ही डाली इंस्टा की एक पोस्ट, Vaibhav's favorite pics from for like Mami.
Hey, you guys should watch Stolen.
Abhishek
Karan Tejpal's directed it. Oh my God, मतलब it's so good, so good. I really hope we you know more people champion that film. It's important. It's a very important film.
पता है क्या हो रहा था अभी? I recently did an episode with Raghav Jayal also. I think subconsciously I was getting confused between Stolen and Kill for some reason. Kill hasn't come out. पता नहीं वो दोनों violent films हैं I think काफी. So I was for some reason like getting.
I know the script. Kill is a interesting action piece, very action oriented.
Stolen is not just action but more things.
भाई मतलब यहाँ पे होगा तुम्हारा सब ascend हो जाएगा यहाँ तक. The whole time, and it's quick. It's you know it's
Stolen
very quick.
का वो जो पोस्टर है जहाँ पे उनकी आँख पे लगी हुई है वगैरह. I've seen that Abhishek Banerjee photo. It's very
yeah. I mean, that's the visual theatrics. But
what else जो मामी में आपने लिस्ट देखी यार? ये तो मैंने already देखा है कि यार something you are really looking forward to watch.
I mean, I'm personally looking forward to Killers of the Flower Moon.
वो generally 2-3 दिन में release हो रही है.
हाँ, वो उसी में मैं जा रहा हूँ. I was hoping to. There was a screening I was trying to host, but फिर मेरी shoot है कल. तो मैं
Of
लालच में
Killers
था.
of the Flower Moon?
Yeah.
Where?
Here only, Bombay में.
नहीं तो how would you get to do the screening of that? मतलब समझ रहा हूँ मैं.
मतलब whoever's the production we'll figure out. We would have figured out, but the problem was.
Do you do these things?
Yeah, we can.
Can we be friends?
Yeah, man.
Seriously?
Totally,
fuck.
dude. And मतलब अब तो like for instance, this is how I ended up watching Irishman.
Fuck.
I saw it in London, and it was randomly because I keep getting those the Academy screeners, right? Oh, sorry, the invites, because the big ones usually have like screenings. And randomly मैं देख रहा हूँ, मैंने कहा नहीं मेरी एक दोस्त की पार्टी है. Then I suddenly see it again. I said, wait, Scorsese, Pesci, De Niro, Pacino, all are coming, and they're all gonna be there.
What the?
So, and I was late. I have ran across Regent Street, this Oxford Street, caught the screening, entered, met Pacino, and I was like, dude, I mean, I just lost it. Like, I was like, and I've never done that. मैं आज तक autograph, मैंने एक आदमी से autograph लिया है, कबीर बेदी से. Because my mom was a fan of कबीर बेदी. तो उससे आज मुझे एक script के पीछे लिया था. Otherwise, yeah, like I met De Niro, it was cool. I've taken, and Pacino, I didn't take nothing. I just met him, we spoke. I think I was working on The Death on the Nile with Kenneth Branagh at the time in London. So we had something to talk about. But I mean, what do you say? Bhagwan.
Can I also tell you about an incident like this, that where I watched a film? So ये Fun Republic वाली road पे ही थे, and like a friend was going there. I was with another friend of mine. We were meeting after a long time. हम वहाँ cafe coffee day में बैठे थे. We went out. पता नहीं कुछ ये serendipity वाले moments आते हैं. This is 4 years back. हम दोनों हैं. And that friend was Hardik Mehta. वो जा रहे थे वहाँ से. And I'm like, hey Hardik, what's up? ये वो. And nothing यार कैसा है वैभव बढ़िया. This is I think before my channel existed, or it had just started 5 years back or something. एंड मैंने कहा क्या चल रहा है, वो बोले कुछ नहीं. अच्छा पता यार मेरे किसी फ्रेंड ने एक स्क्रीनिंग रखी है तो मैं वहाँ जा रहा हूँ. तो आई एम लाइक कि कैन आई कम. उसने मतलब 5-10 सेकंड ना मेरे को पूरा ऑब्जर्व किया कि शुड आई से यस और नॉट. उसने कहा आ जाओ, बट आई एम लाइक माई फ्रेंड इज ऑल्सो विद मी, कैन शी ऑल्सो कम. हाँ आ जाओ. वी वेंट देयर एंड इट वॉज अ प्राइवेट स्क्रीनिंग जो अनुराग कश्यप ने रखी थी ऑफ वाड़ा चेन्नई. एंड इट वॉज जस्ट 10 people in the room. And dude, like it was just filmmakers there and me and my friend, and it was very nice. So sometimes these moments happen and you कुछ click हो जाता है and you reach like at a place.
Wow. वो तुम्हें तमन्ना है यार, वहाँ कुछ और ही हो रहा है. ओ भाई, वहाँ तो कुछ और ही हो रहा है काम, मतलब next level हो रहा है. वाड़ा चेन्नई was a great film. It was a great soundtrack.
Great soundtrack.
I'm really excited for I really like Dhanush and his work. I think he's one of the few sorted guys.
Such a nice line, one of the few sorted guys. कम ही है दुनिया में sorted लोगों
नहीं मतलब नहीं, लौंडे बहुत critical होते हैं लौंडों को लेके. अच्छा. I think हाँ. As much as we act cool and all, but when we're as actors, I think I feel, at least I am not critical. You mean like more observant, and I feel you understand when somebody's compassionate and empathetic. You can tell in their performance.
Right.
Or the way they approach a performance. I mean, you could be playing a villain also, but it doesn't matter.
Which are those films that you keep going back to? Like
Notting Hill.
Notting Hill. Rich also said Notting Hill. Yeah.
And definitely Maybe for some reason. I love that. Love Actually, of course.
Love Actually.
That's like a seasonal film, I think. Matrix. Once in a while, just to keep check on realities. Our all-time is Gone in 60 Seconds. I mean, that is OG. Like, वहाँ गाड़ियों का craze वहाँ से शुरू हुआ था. Nick Cage was like the dude. I mean, that was like you don't mess with that. And I was really heartbroken when he just went out of work. And now he's making this beautiful comeback with some stellar performances. So, have you seen Mandy?
I have seen Mandy at Mami.
Oh man.
जो सबसे रात का शो था.
Nice.
He directed it?
No,
he acted in it.
No, the director is whack. He's acted in it. The director is somebody I'm trying to get in touch with actually. He's so good.
2018 or 2019 Mami, I saw it. Yeah. उससे पहले तो अभी हुआ ही नहीं 3-4 साल से, so I saw it then.
I mean, I just loved him. Face Off is like Leaving Las Vegas. You should see that. Leaving Las Vegas. That's the one he won the Oscar for. this is with books also. I get very excited when things like churn my brain. You know, like Fincher does that. Like David Lynch does that.
Ari Aster type भी.
Yeah, in a sense. Or in like there's a book Umberto Eco's, है ना? Or this one, ये जो अभी इस पे remake बनाई थी शुजॉय ने, The Devotion of Suspect X, is one of my all-time favorite books. It's a banger book. Like there's a beautiful book called House of Leaves, which I still till date I'm going to try and find the author. I can't fix its genre. मतलब मैं तुम्हें बताऊंगा मैसेज करके सेपरेटली, उसका जॉनर कोई मुझे बता दे भाई, मैं मतलब 100 रुपए दे दूं, मे बी मोर.
रिचा वाले में 1 लाख की बातें हो रही थी
भाई, वो बड़े लोग हो तुम लोग. हम इतनी लगाते हैं सोच के. तो शिट, 1 लाख किस पे लगा गए हो यार?
वही मास्टर ऑफ नन में एक एनिमेटेड सीन है या नहीं? शी इज सेइंग मास्टर ऑफ नन में एनिमेटेड सीन है. आई एम लाइक है नहीं. शी इज लाइक लगाओ 1 लाख.
एक्चुअली इन द लास्ट सीजन I think there is.
There's no.
I might, but again, she could be getting confused with the Good Fight.
मैंने भी उनको ही बोला, आप मास्टर ऑफ सेक्स वगैरह से तो कंफ्यूज नहीं हो रहे.
नहीं, Good Fight में तो है ना, because they've broken genre. If you've seen, which is one of the finest shows.
I haven't seen Good Fight.
Oh my god, brilliant! 5 seasons, you're gonna down. Superb.
Where is it available?
Amazon.
Oh, nice.
And it started with The Good Wife, so it was a spin-off from The Good Wife.
Okay.
It's called The Good Fight. So it's all connected.
Oh.
So it's pretty cool. Like that's why like I think Better Call Saul has been I mean, of course, like one of the best spin-offs of all times. Twin Peaks was no, that was not a spin-off, but Twin Peaks was Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Do you also like Breaking Bad?
Best.
Better Call Saul, do you like it more than Breaking Bad?
No, I mean it has its own charm, but Breaking Bad was Breaking Bad. Like yeah. I mean Vince Gilligan. Where do you think this is going? I keep thinking, you know, every time I think of art, like when there was cinema, sure, you know, we moved a step aage and OTT came and digital came. Like, what's next? And I keep thinking, how are we going to reinvent, right? Where are we headed? कि ये वापस cinema में आएंगे, or is there going to be a new form? And I keep wondering, because we're also writing things, right? And I keep looking for like people I can jam with on my writing sessions. I think just diligently we should sit and think of these screenplays, but like, where does it all fit?
I think the world is definitely not go back to, but I'm trying to be unemotional about it. Like the Killers of the Flower Moon durations. Like the world just won't like take the 3 hour plus or the 2 hour plus movies, right? ये तो मेरे को लगता है नहीं आने वाला. 3 घंटे की कोई भी चीज़ है जैसे आजकल नेटफ्लिक्स करता है, ब्रेक करके दिखा दो. दे आर फीडिंग यू द सेम थिंग, बट वो बीट्स चेंज कर देते हैं जिससे इट बिकम्स मोर डाइजेस्टेबल, राइट?
बट व्हाट वुड इट टेक?
As in?
What would it take for you to lengthen your span?
Yeah.
I'm saying a solution, right? Sure, we are all reels and I mean, think about it. आज इतने dangerous है कि you're one swipe, you have a cat video. Another swipe, there's a war. Another swipe, ऐसा, you know, कुछ cool.
But what would it take में वही है कि अभी लोग जो बोलते हैं ना मैं 3 घंटे की फिल्म ही देख सकता हूँ, वो 12 घंटे का शो भी देख लेंगे एकदम.
हाँ, वो देख सकते हैं. सब में कुव्वत है. तो फिर how do you pack that? सबको ब्रेक चाहिए बेसिकली, है ना?
Yeah, it's like अब मेरे को लगता है जैसे इस साल के बाद ODI रीइन्वेंट होने वाला है.
1 मिनट, 1 सेकंड. Oppenheimer तो worked.
Yeah, it was
almost $1 billion, right?
Almost $1 billion.
So long film, and India is the only place जहाँ इंटरवल होते हैं. क्योंकि हम सब टूसते हैं. हाँ. कहीं इंटरवल नहीं है. सबने झेला या देखा तो कुछ तो है ना कहीं. I don't know, man. I think there's got to be that rule set somewhere, and it's always a system that sets it, right? The moment we become part of systems, that suddenly compartmentalize everything and say, hey, we're all happy. अभी यहाँ पे सब अच्छा चल रहा है, वहाँ strike हो रही है. Half my work is stopped, but there's a strike for a reason. The trickle effect of that strike. I'm talking about the Hollywood strike, which is the writers. Writers is off now. The actors, the SAG is still on, but it's with the same studios, and we are carrying on working, thinking, "Abey, हमें नहीं फर्क पड़ता है, बट फर्क तो पड़ेगा. उसका ट्रिकल इफेक्ट और उसका बेनिफिट यहीं आएगा घूम फिर के. सो आई फील लाइक द मोमेंट वी बिकम वेरी कंफर्टेबल विद इन सिस्टम्स, नो, इट ऑटोमेटिकली बिकम्स हावी हो जाता है वो. And so the daring to break that goes. Okay. If you look at cinema before, there was always the big ones, the commercial ones, and then somebody would try and break that because it was linear. कि भाई एक फिल्म रिलीज हो रहा है, ये बहुत बड़ा फिल्म है, ये छोटा फिल्म है, छोटा फिल्म है, छोटा फिल्म है, बड़ा फिल्म है, छोटा फिल्म. Then suddenly a break comes, right? What do you call it? The path breaker सोच रहा हूँ मैं. What's the word? Whatever, cool word, comes and disruptor. Yeah, they come and then suddenly that makes money. But now everything started opening horizontally. So everybody's confused, and I think you're also confused what I'm saying.
I know.
But am I making sense?
You are, but like, do you think Oppenheimer would have worked and people would have gone through it had people not known it's a Nolan film?
I don't know, maybe not.
Would people watch Killers of the Flower Moon had they not known it's a Martin Scorsese film?
There's a big hype because of it.
Branding is also a big thing in this. The way it is branded, like it also plays a very big role. Otherwise, I don't think they'll sit for a 3 hour plus movie. So because Scorsese वाले में ये भी है, like one of the final stages में है वो, so we need to watch. And Nolan में, because of the theme of this, because of him making a shitty movie, I didn't like Tenet, so उसके बाद like making something.
It was alright.
हाँ, it wasn't like Nolan level, the Inception or the Dark Knight level.
But like you said in the start of the interview, you interviewed what's his name? 2.5 घंटे किससे बात की थी? गुलशन से, है ना? उसमें क्या अच्छा था?
Yeah.
लोगों ने देखा ना?
This is something we are also thinking कि yeah man.
So what is it like? Is उस interview का अगर screenplay लिखा जाए?
Bang on,
है ना?
Nice, good stuff. हाँ.
उसमें क्या है? उसमें आपने beats डाले, but life है ना, इसका भी एक
beat है. हाँ.
Beats हैं, 60 beats हैं, या आप जैसे लिखते हो 120 हैं, 100 हैं, जो भी आप चुन लो. पहले 2 मिनट में आपने कुछ सबको इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया, आपके हीरोज ऑलरेडी आ गए. आपने फिर अगले 30 मिनट नोक झोंक हुई है. फिर 45th मिनट पे कुछ, अब ये ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाता है instinctively when your instincts are matching.
Bang on.
Right.
And this is that zone where like a Linklater, how Linklater makes walking and talking, just two people having a good conversation over a coffee table.
Yeah.
This is like coffee and cigarettes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Again, kick-ass. Yeah. Right? Or Chinese coffee. Yeah. Or whatever, before, after.
Yeah, before, after, any of those.
But those are again pre-planned. And that's amazing. When you can actually then, that's almost like playing God. You can predict. In performances, I can maybe try and do that. Because your camera is at a certain thing. There's a certain tempo of the room. So,
when people are coming for a video, Chalchitra Talks, they know this is what they'll get. Like, they know the experience. Someone just told me, 3 type के podcast experience होते हैं. Sleeping experience, driving experience, or dinner experience. This is a great, like, Sahil है इस बंदे का नाम. He told me this concept. He's like, when someone listens to Joe Rogan, it's a sleeping experience. A lot of people play Joe Rogan and they sleep like with that. Then there is a driving experience. Some podcast like history based or something which you are listening to when you are driving. He said,
like a lot of medical stuff I do when I'm driving. I mean, listen to.
Yours is a dinner experience. Like when I'm having dinner, it can be playing in the background.
Oh, wow. So that's the most like, that's, I'd say, the exclusive side.
I would also say watched. That. Yeah. Where you are being watched. You are not like getting used to sleep or wo nahi.
How would you then, let's say, if suddenly tomorrow, all your episodes became historic episodes, history. तुम हिस्ट्री कैसे, मतलब हिस्ट्री के बारे में कैसे बात करोगे? How do you make that interesting? 1.5 घंटा, that's not possible, right?
Yeah, मतलब historic किस
boring, I don't know.
Yeah.
It would be.
Historic किस sense में बन गए? Like trying to understand.
Histories like
they are irrelevant.
Indian history, suppose.
अच्छा.
You're digging out, great stories from, and maybe you're sitting with a historian.
अरे ये चलते हैं यार एपिसोड्स लाइक पॉडकास्ट हैव मेड हिस्ट्री इंटरेस्टिंग अगेन
है ना?
हमें स्कूल में कभी किसी ने नहीं ऐसे पढ़ाई हिस्ट्री
Like I want to sit down with historians
Yeah.
of our country.
Yeah.
Just talk.
Yeah. And since you are an actor, like in fact, I was talking to Richa also about this. She wants to start a podcast called Podzilla. Like कि मेरे को लाके
एक तो ना my name is saved as some Zilla on her. Yeah, it's very bride.
Split Zilla. I don't know.
Groom Zilla, brides. I don't know what. Yeah.
Because one of the nicest things about podcasts is you definitely, जैसे आपने पूछा ना, how do you do this, man? It's just like मेरे को लगता है the best podcast I listen to are the ones which I am doing real time. So मैंने आपके बाकी interviews नहीं देखे हैं, but I'm like मैं जब बैठ के अली को बोलते हुए सुनूंगा, that's the best podcast for me. I am real time experiencing who the other person is. So this is like my way of like कि मेरे को नहीं देखने सारे interviews कि इन्होंने slow interview कैसा किया या फलाना कैसा किया, मेरे को real time experience करना है.
I mean, I suppose the same thing with me. Because also these are little experiments, na? The little man inside our head is like, यार देखते हैं ना कहाँ जाता है.
हाँ.
As opposed to knowing, like, or it could be a lazy version of me, not.
That is also definitely there. But ये जो आप history वाली बात बोल रहे हो, there's this podcast called Founders Podcast where they pick up one founder who has lived in the last 100 years और उसके बारे में वो 1 घंटे तक एक बंदा बताता है. जैसे I saw this episode on Wright brothers and he talked about how Wright brothers like made it big, or let's say like a Tesla, any of these founders who have lived. Steve Jobs से लेके कोई 200 साल पुराना फाउंडर भी कि बेंजामिन फ्रैंकलिन, और वो 1 घंटे तक बोले जा रहा है.
Nice.
And this is so much, क्योंकि एक तो रीड तो कर नहीं पा रहे आज.
Yeah.
So this is a better way of like consuming things. That is why people like audiobooks over like a reading experience. So that ways तो podcasts and audiobooks have defeated reading. It's an endangered species जो लोग पढ़ते हैं, मतलब वो याद है 1411 tigers are left, ये वही है. This is reading people don't.
But they would read about something that is brand new, right?
They might.
कि हमें एक नया आइलैंड मिल गया है, वहाँ पे ये हो रहा है और ऐसे चल रहा है, वहाँ लोग हैं and they live like this, and this is the politics of that one little space, and they have their own sovereign or whatever.
Yeah.
And first time the satellites have seen this place, and my God, imagine that was true. Yeah, I think people would. But people come back to a format like when they get the newness in it. ये जो आप बात कह रहे हो ना, मेरे को समझ आ रहा है आप कौन सी trajectory पे हो. They do come back to it. क्योंकि I was also surprised when I sit and watch a 2.5 hour movies. मैं बैठ सकता हूँ, मेरे में है. There are films. आदत बिगड़ जाती है.
आदत बिगड़ जाती है.
It's like now it takes almost a month for me to complete a book. Because I'm just on my phone. Yeah. And I confess, I'm fighting hard to beat that addiction. Yeah. Because a lot of our work happens there. So I can't leave Insta. Yeah. I can't, leave my emails. And half my scripts come there.
और हमारी मेरे को लगता है eventually dopamine levels थोड़ी बहुत ज़्यादा saturated है. तो if you need a थोड़ा कम dopamine level वाला experience.
Best यही पहनता हूँ मैं इसलिए. It's a blue radiation.
Yeah. अब इतना वो फट चुका है कि नॉर्मल चीज़ हमें उस लेवल का रश ही नहीं देती, तो हम कर ही नहीं पाते, उसमें एंजॉयमेंट ही नहीं मिलती. और फिल्म्स भी जो देखो, मेरे को लगता है या वॉकिंग एंड टॉकिंग मूवी ऑफ 3.5 hours लोग नहीं देख सकते. यू नीड सम, मतलब ओपनहाइमर में आप वो सीन हटा दो कि व्हेन द बॉम्ब लाइक द फर्स्ट एक्सपेरिमेंटल, वो जो नहीं चलेगी वो. पीपल आर लाइक वेटिंग फॉर दैट लाइक बॉम्ब टू गो ऑफ. और जो आजकल सारी इंडिया में भी फिल्में चल रही हैं, देयर इज दिस एक्शन लाइक फास्ट फ्रेम रेट चेंज एंड लाइक ये एंगल्स चेंज और ये मर गया, इसका वो आ गया.
बट वैसे ही तो यू सेल.
हाँ, that is what
you sell a story, and you have to just keep finding new ways to sell a story. I mean, that's not just filmmaking. I think anywhere any visual medium is trying to do that. We're constantly trying to say that I have something that you don't, and that's it. मतलब सारी समरी वही है दुनिया.
सही बात है.
उसी पे चल रहा है. ट्रेड, पॉलिटिक्स, जियोपॉलिटिक्स, मूवीज, सिनेमा. Nolan has something that we don't. Or that country has this nuclear power that this one doesn't.
Yeah.
मुझे लग रहा है मैं ऐसे philosophical
क्या हुआ? हमें भी लेके जाओ, कहाँ गए थे आप?
नहीं No, I sometimes keep stepping out of my own head and I look at myself and I laugh. I think
अरे ये तो मैं
क्योंकि हाँ,
ये तो
you know, we are all about words, no? And everybody has something to say and it's such an opinionated world.
हाँ
अब मैं सोचता हूँ कि कितने लोगों के एल्गोरिदम सेम ही होंगे. हम फिल्मों की बात कर रहे हैं तो सबके we are also all falling in that same cycle, you know?
we are all serving the algorithm.
हाँ यार, that can be very depressing also.
और सर लाइक आप YouTube छोड़ो Netflix को भी are serving the algorithm only. Have you seen Barry?
Yeah,
Barry,
brilliant.
the take they have, like the way they have like kind of like taken this जैसे मजाक उड़ाया उन्होंने OTT प्लेटफॉर्म्स का कि यार तुम्हारा चलेगा नहीं तो हमने दे आर लाइक अगर पहले सीन में अगर नूडल नहीं खाते तो वो शो चलते नहीं है.
Yeah.
There was this scene कि you need to be eating a dessert for it to be a successful show. And इसमें सबसे बड़ा metaphor ये है when you'll watch Barry उसके first show में he's eating a dessert.
Amazing. But that's true.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, this one book somebody gave me recently, उसमें लिखा है, yeah, if you play, if you go to a bar and if there's German music playing, you're more likely to order German beer and German alcohol, and also the same thing goes with French. I mean, these are all little tricks and trades.
Yeah. Someone told me there's an OTT platform which doesn't approve films or shows in India if you don't have a chase sequence as the first scene.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It has to be a chase sequence अगर otherwise आपका हमारे OTT पे नहीं जाएगा.
Wow.
और उसके बाद से मैं जब भी वहाँ पे कुछ ब्रो इसमें भी चेस सीक्वेंस है, इसमें भी चेस सीक्वेंस है.
You like Chaplin?
I like Chaplin.
When was the last time you saw Chaplin?
It's been long.
है ना?
It's been long.
Do you think people know about Chaplin anymore?
Gen Z might not know about Chaplin. उतना. They might know of a YouTuber who does things like this, like the जो Chaplin करते थे, but they might not know of Chaplin.
Yeah, I mean, I keep thinking, now, what would be a Chaplin today? Or a Gandhi today?
Yeah.
Would they be like YouTube sensations?
How many subscribers would a Chaplin have?
Yeah, like, you know, how would you influence or get your work out there or get your message out there?
Do you have a good relationship with the algorithm, or are you also one of the victims of, or is the algorithm controlling you?
I mean, if I go deep in it, I can probably figure it out. I try to break. I keep breaking the rhythm.
Do you have a good social media hygiene?
No. That's why. I think it's only confused. तो मेरे followers एक ही पे अटके हुए हैं. वो बेचारे को समझ में नहीं आता है इसका बढ़ाएं या घटाएं.
वो तब होता है कि you are gaining a lot, but you are also people are unfollowing you at the same rate. ये रोज होता है Instagram.
Yeah, but ये क्या है?
पता नहीं.
A bunch of strangers following me, a bunch of strangers unfollowing me every day.
Every day.
So ये तो लेन देन चल रहा है. It's like this beautiful balance.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, think about it. On Twitter, you reply to somebody or you say, it's always a new person.
I have to ask you, like, how would you react to if I say Ali Fazal is a content creator? Like, what would be your first reaction?
Aren't we all? Yeah. We're all creating. Every single minute we are creating. We want to be creators. Actually, inherently, everybody is a creator. Then you fit yourselves. वो तो 3-4 साल के जब होते हैं तब हमें निकाल दिया जाता है ना.
हाँ.
हॉबीज नहीं बेटा, हॉबी नहीं. ये जो स्कूल यूनिफॉर्म यही है ना. तो बच्चा फिर वो बड़ा होता है करते करते करियर बन जाता है. I don't know. If not this, what would you do?
Yeah. I want to know about you.
I want to know about you.
I don't know. मैं से
What's your I don't know. What's your next? What's your previous? Where's this influence come from?
Yeah. अभी तो this has become my like bread and butter, like doing these podcasts.
What is bread and butter? मतलब?
This is how I earn. Like,
okay, but you enjoy it.
I enjoy
I can see that. Right?
Yeah, I enjoy this. Like, it has taken me 5 years to crack like what I do. Now people recognize us and finally we get access to the kind of people we want to. But इसमें 5 साल लग गए. So ये चलता रहेगा, but I don't want it to be the only thing I'm known for. This is just one of the things. It should always be one of the things. You can't be just doing a podcast. It's okay. कर लिया crack और करो.
We should like curate stuff and I don't know.
I read this very interesting thing. Curators are the next creators.
Okay.
Yeah. बिकॉज अभी जैसे मैंने आज लिस्ट डाली Vaibhav's top picks of Mami this year. ये तो मेरे को लगता है कि every person like needs to keep doing, particularly in this huge ass abundance वाला जो हम जी रहे हैं कि यार अब Netflix पे है, कैसे कैसे क्या देखें. वहाँ तो एल्गोरिदम बता रहा है आपको पहले पेज पे क्या देखना है. बट लाइक इफ यू वांट दैट लाइक वन लाइक मियाज़ाकी फिल्म तो वहाँ तक कैसे पहुँचना है. लोगों को सर्च भी नहीं पता कि क्या करना होता है कि व्हाट डू आई सर्च फॉर इफ आई वांट टू वॉच समथिंग गुड ऑन नेटफ्लिक्स.
अब जैसे वोंकार भाई की लिस्ट दे दो.
Yes.
People won't know which one to pick first, you know.
Exactly. And that is where curation comes in. So many like actors, writers also do this. Like Reese Witherspoon has a book club. Everyone now has something.
That's genius, man. What she's pulled off there. Two people, Ryan Reynolds and Reese Witherspoon. Yeah. Again, great entrepreneurs, man. I mean,
don't you think actors को realize हो गया कि उनकी एक limited shelf life है, तो यहाँ से या YouTubers भी करते हैं कि यार ये तो ठीक है चलता रहेगा, but this won't last.
No, I think it's the fact that we've realized suddenly that the world shrunk. Okay, the world got smaller, so suddenly you can उधर आप टाप सकते हो, छू सकते हो. You can share your notes, you know, with somebody else from across whatever, and that in itself makes you realize, oh wait, it's very big, and so what I'm doing is not enough. I can actually access more, or I must try to. I don't know.
I was doing an episode with Veerdas yesterday and he said this very interesting thing. A camera loves an actor for 7 years. 7 साल के लिए मतलब I loved that line. उन्होंने I'm badly paraphrasing it, but like he meant कि 7 साल के लिए वो आपको like करेगा. Where you like हर चीज़ आपके बारे में बहुत अच्छी लगेगी. सबका वो phase आता है. Where like आप कहीं से भी बैठ जाओ कैसे भी कर जाओ, the camera is in love with you. बट मैं वो सोच रहा हूँ फिर एक्टर बाकी टाइम क्या करेगा. लाइक इफ दे हैव टू प्ले अ 50-year गेम दे विल हैव टू गो ऑन द रायन रेनॉल्ड्स और द रीस विदरस्पून लाइक टैंजेंट.
I mean, depends, you know. That's a very, I feel it's a bit myopic to put that in to quantify that.
No, हाँ.
Because that it also depends on your environment where you are, right? And I've seen this. I've seen the deterioration of art within brilliant artists. It makes you cynical. The world can make you cynical. And the moment you lose that innocence, you know, and it's this baby innocence, the 4-year-old, like every time the camera opens on a film set, for me, like I feel like I'm back in Toys R Us. Yeah, Hamley, yeah, jo bhi bol do, you know, toy store. And then you're like, you're constantly picking from different shelves, you know, I feel we keep losing that. And it's now, as you grow older, it's this constant fight to go back and pull that 4-year-old out.
That's the game. That's the game.
And the problem is in life and we are faced with everything, right? We are faced with grief. It's endless grief as you grow older. भाई कोई ना कोई घुसने वाला है, कोई ना कोई दुख आने वाला है, and every time that happens, you lose that little kid inside you. So it's again a harder fight to grab onto that, you know. And till the time you can do that, I feel the camera will love you. Or whatever you're in. I believe that. I like to think that.
No, this is beautiful.
But,
yeah.
Interesting. I'd like to talk to Veer about 7 years. And scratch his itch.
And I think this is true for any profession you are in. As long as you can keep the kid alive, the paintbrush would love you.
And at the same time, we're also saying that that's a very vulnerable position. Because then you also are opening up for a lot of hurt. And so constantly there's a lot of it coming your way because it's both ways. It's porous.
Have you read this guy Rilke who has written letters to a young poet?
I know Rilke, but I haven't.
Oh dude, हम जो चीज़ों की बात कर रहे हैं ना, he used to write these things कि.
Interesting.
यही कि how do you protect that side? He's like art बनाने if you have nothing to go deeper inside yourself. कुछ नहीं है तो खुद तो हो ना.
I think I read Kafka's letters. Yes, I think that's, oh my god. I think life has been cracked. पहले हो चुका है. Orwell और O. Henry, ये लोगों ने Allan Poe, सबने कर दिया है भाई.
So we have
algorithms crack कर दिए हैं. वहाँ से शुरू हो चुका है.
Yeah. And this is something I also think about. Like we are not Adam and Eve. हमें नहीं पता कि अच्छा ये खाने से क्या होगा, ये क्या होगा. हमारे लिए तो मतलब बहुत सारी cheat sheets पड़ी हैं. Like there is so much out there. We just need to.
So what would be the new today?
What would be the
which brings us back to that, right? The new form, which I was asking. What would be the apple that we've not had? as an artist. No, it doesn't have to be as an actor. It doesn't have to be like would it be, I don't know, you jumping into the television and becoming part of that narrative? Is that what's going to be the next? It's already happening, you know, the other way.
VR and AI, like let's see कि कैसे आते हैं and like what they do to us.
No, it's got to be something. I don't know.
I also want to like take a segue and मेरे को जो आरती ने आपके साथ short film बनाई थी, I'm parrot, like how do I say the whole thing, the astronaut and the parrot.
The astronaut and the parrot. Yeah.
So I don't know, like I'll tell you something very interesting. I became friends with Aarti 3-4 months back, and आपके साथ कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि you see someone and you are like, he and I or she and I will make good friends?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what happened between me and her. And we were doing a Netflix roundtable or something. Like I was hosting it, she was one of the guests. Then we started talking. And for the first few days, we just kept sending the same things to each other. You also like this, I also like this. You also like this, I also like this. And when I saw Astronaut and the Parrot, I'm like, there's this Ray Bradbury like short story, The Rocket Man.
Yeah.
It's basically the astronaut and the parrot, and she's like, my subconscious might have taken things from there. Like it's about this, like it's beautiful. Like it's about this astronaut who goes there और वैसे rocks लेके आता है अपनी बच्ची के लिए, and like but he has to go again, and like it shows the relationship between the daughter and the astronaut. Like and I'm like, it's he's one of my favorite authors, and
I haven't seen.
And it's also the favorite author of Aarti.
Of Aarti's. I remember I got along very well with her. I'd met her during the pandemic only. She called me and she said, yeah. And I always wanted to work with her on something. So kahin na kahin se nikal aaya, and then we just jammed. She shot it on her phone.
And she has that unique voice, like in our industry, where she's like going back to like being a kid every day.
Yeah.
Like and like fully going all out there and like having that innocence.
And she's also she's a good director. Like she pushes you. She's full softy and all, but I remember on that set also, you know, while we are doing all these things in a dark room with all these iPhones, because all of it was shot on those iPhones, and there was something that I was like, हाँ ये तो ये ऐसे ही होगा, ऐसे ही होता है, and that was so amazing. It was like, you know, when you least expect it, somebody gives you a humbleness ka, you know. And she said, no, you can do it differently. This is how I see it. You can push yourself more. And I got frustrated. I was like, Aarti, this is like, there's hardly anything to do here. She's like, no. And then I said, okay, I said, let's kill the ego right now, man. This has to be done. Fine, let's do it. And I don't know, it's probably the shot is not even there in the film. But it happened.
But
Such
she
a great
like
feeling.
tapped into it.
She tapped into it, man. Yeah. For me, that was the best experience in that entire thing.
Do you like these films where like what are some of your favorite films like outside in the space, like all these First Mans and the Ad Astras, and where a man goes into the space?
Interstellar ne to, but for me, like Kubrick has always
2001?
been. Yeah, man. That's just like he set the
Bar too high.
Yeah, man. It's almost trippy, man. Like that Stargate sequence is, oh my God. Like if you are mildly spiritual in life and you are trying to attain some kind of nirvana, bhai, you should watch that. There's a lot packed in. Too much. But in all his films, I suppose. Eyes Wide Shut.
I love Eyes Wide Shut, dude. I love it.
Genius, yeah. But yeah, 2001 was, I think, an Interstellar. What else? I don't know. What do you think of?
I was thinking of, how did you like First Man?
It was nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gravity was good.
How did you like The Martian? Yeah, same. It didn't land for me.
It didn't like land.
It did land on Mars, but like it didn't.
Yeah, I feel like, who else would you like to see in space though?
Oh, this is such a good one, dude.
Or who do you think Scorsese could direct a space film, sci-fi?
मेरे को लगता है every filmmaker ना like has this 5-6 उनको बनानी है, एक dystopic बनानी चाहिए, because everyone shows dystopia very differently.
Yeah.
You'll see a Quran, he'll show कि women stop like getting pregnant. When Nolan shows, he's like there's no food. कोई आप किसी का देखते हो, वेनेलू का देखते हो, तो आपको लगता है कोई एलियन आ रहा है, बट अ गुड एलियन इज कमिंग, राइट?
तो यार वो नेक्स्ट लेवल है वो
या
शूट एक्चुअली।
सो आप किसी भी फिल्म मेकर को उठा लो एटलीस्ट बाहर का, मतलब मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि हर जना एक बार या तो डिस्टोपिया में कुछ स्टीवन स्पीलबर्ग हो गए, उनका वो वॉर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स वाला हो गया, दिस इज हाउ दे विल कम। सो एवरीवन हैज देयर डेफिनेशन ऑफ डिस्टोपिया, कि हमें ऐसा लगता है कि जब दुनिया खत्म हो रही होगी, ऐसे हो रही होगी, तो ये 3-4 मेरे को लगता है दे शुड ऑल टैप इनटू कॉस्मोस, वॉर, लव, सबको एक एक बनानी चाहिए। मेरे को लगता है कि जैसे जेम्स कैमरन इज डूइंग इट लाइक बेटर देन एनीवन एल्स, ही इज डूइंग एवरीथिंग,
He's doing everything. Yeah, he's one of the few ones.
yeah, one of the
But I still haven't seen like a. I mean, come on. What's the last time you saw like a Braveheart? What's the new Braveheart?
yeah. What's the thing that you saw in Braveheart that you think is missing in other films?
I mean, if I would have now put it very stupidly in my language, it would be this the fight for a cause. I guess it boils down to what? Great leadership coming out from an underdog-ish, you know, a helpless, like the 300 syndrome, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that is like the closest.
I'm just suddenly thinking of the scenes where actors are in rage, like there will be blood, I have abandoned my child, letting it all go.
But those are choices. I think those are great choices based on how the other person is landing, right?
Matlab, I don't understand.
Matlab, like for instance, I've just, not just, I mean, I've finished something, Mirzapur, right, for instance. All my reactions, the whole thing depends on how I'm receiving information from this side.
Yeah.
So sometimes the best of choices, my choice was to go enraged, you know, in this thing, and I was like, fuck, it's great. And then suddenly, you know, my director came and he said, but that's fine. But and I couldn't believe he said that. He said, you're doing this because you have a memory which is so affected by the effect of this character on the audiences over the last 2 seasons. And I feel like this is not you in this moment. And he said, just flip it. And the moment I flipped it, the whole scene, I mean, you would expect me to rage, but I've teared up. And I'm crying like a baby. So suddenly you're seeing this alpha, you know. I love that. I love choices like that. Like when the text can leave it open.
Yeah. It's like how they say कि crying is the easiest thing. Like if it's an emotional scene, वो तो रो तो दोगी ना, उसके अलावा क्या है?
Yeah. My biggest problem these days is to try and understand what is, you know, everybody talks about the process and how true it has to be, and sometimes I'm suddenly realizing at the end of it, like Kubrick said this in an interview, somebody mentioned this, that it's a photograph of that, the reality that you're creating. You can fake it to make it there. You have to arrive there. Your process is yours. Your journey is yours. You can take any way and arrive there. तो वो ट्रूथ जो है वो हम मतलब वो उस फ्रेम में ही है. आपकी ट्रूथ क्या है वो, you know, it's like we like to glorify our truths. And therefore there's the greatness of the actor. And sometimes all it requires is, you know, just, but it takes a lot of thought to just do this. And I think it's the smartest thing. And if somebody has been able to think of that, I think that is genius.
Yeah, I was doing an episode with Jim Sar where we spoke at length about it. Like, जहाँ पे
Does that make sense?
it does, because
We intellectualize. And sure, that's fine. When you need to, you do. When you need to, I mean, history की कोई biopic कर रहे हो तुम. Like I had to read 11-12 books on history, on this Victorian Abdul when I did. And no other references. Sorry, you were saying.
yeah, because Jim told me there is a Sidney Lumet or a David Mamet line where he's like, his whole thing is shut up and say your lines.
Yeah.
There is that also.
There's also half a breath on a comma, full breath on a full stop. Dude, follow that. तुम्हारा आधा emotion तो वही हो गया ना. तो फिर क्या है, वो किसी और ने ऑलरेडी रिदम शुरू कर दी है. राइट, लाइक व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग, you're nodding, you're already in my zone. I have everything mapped out in a room also. ये एक बंदा इरफान भाई, मुझे लगता है he was very aware of that. You have to be very aware of the environment that's coming at you. If you give me a dead script and everything around me is just dead in the metaphorical sense, then मैं कुछ भी करके मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा. You know, it's like when a couple is having an argument, you can't, it's all gone off the rocks. You need a third person to break the rhythm. Sometimes that's how सुलह किया जाता है कि भाई तीसरे को लाओ, because it's way past control. Now if somebody is as controlled as Irfan bhai, then I think he would have found it easy to break those rhythms
without the need of someone else, like the third.
Sometimes you can, because you have also the power of, you have an aura, then you can just take everybody with you and say, yaar, you know what, fuck this shit, you know, like, or whatever.
Is the thing you're saying कि दो लोग होते हैं तो like you need the third thing? It can also be like an object, right, to break the rhythm. It can be anything. It can be this AC falling down or anything.
I mean, you can try it at home. If you're angry, just change your position. If you're ever angry and you're really fuming and you're feeling out of control, just like if you're sitting, stand up. Or just I don't know, do something. It'll really calm things down. The flow will change. That's a very stupid way of explaining it, but
Do you think it's important to have your heart broken to create art? क्या टूटे हुए दिल से संगीत निकलता?
I don't think it's a prerequisite. I think a very open, empathetic आदमी अगर है और वो वाकिफ़ है दुनिया के अपनी दुनिया से, तो कहीं ना कहीं उसका दिल टूटेगा. या बहुत फ्लिम्जी ग्राउंड्स पे है. मैं आज भी मैं डर के मारे मैं हॉल अकेले देखने जाता हूँ फिल्में, क्यों मैं फूट के रोने लगता हूँ. टाइम we're all, वो हथेली पे लेके चलते हैं, उसके बीच में फिर मोहब्बत हो जाए और फिर तो हल्का वो तो होता ही रहता है. आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी
सही बात है. या मैन.
So yeah, maybe.
But आप जो कह रहे हो, it makes so much sense. Like if you are just vulnerable and if you let things come, तो होएगा ही, दिल भी टूटेगा, चार चीजें और होंगी.
हाँ, but then you learn to deal with it, and we are privileged. We can deal with things in far more superior ways, maybe. Sometimes we can't. We go down pretty bad.
Recommend me some of your favorite TV shows.
Kora देखा?
I love Kora. I did an episode with Sudeep sir after that.
Amazing. I thought it was brilliant. Oh, Yellowstone. Yeah. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but I know it's winning getting a lot of Emmy noms.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I still haven't seen the new season. Yeah. हमारे यहाँ वो आता ही नहीं है, या शायद अब आता है, जियो पे आ रहा होगा.
पहले Hotstar पे आता था.
हाँ, but then
like, is it a HBO thing?
No, I think it's on Peacock. Peacock's here now.
Peacock
or maybe,
कहाँ गया? Peacock is also like had landed somewhere, yeah.
But Succession, यार, मतलब, have you heard the podcast?
Which one?
The writers and the directors, the creators of Succession.
So they used to do one after every episode. Yeah. Are you talking about that one?
Yeah, that one.
I've heard some of the episodes.
West Wing.
Yeah.
That was a cool show.
Yeah.
है ना?
Nukkad I haven't.
सईद साहब ने बनाया था, सईद अख्तर मिर्जा, who actually happens to be my first director of a film that never came out. ओम दरबार देखी है? Yeah.
Another trip.
है ना?
Have you seen the two OGs, Wire and Sopranos?
Oh yeah, so yeah, correct, yeah. Wait, what's the other one you said? Oh, Wire.
The Wire and
Wire नहीं देखा यार मैंने. मैं थोड़ा देखा था, बहुत late देखा.
So मैं भी Wire बहुत late देखा.
And I think by then, I think a lot had come.
Yeah.
So
I'm watching Wire right now because after I did an episode with Sudeep Sharma, like उन्होंने बताया था कि these are the two वो, मतलब कह रहे मैंने बना लिया होगा पाताल लोक कोरा. I still haven't made India's Wire or
really?
Sopranos. He is like कि कुछ नहीं किया मैंने अभी. He is like मेरे को वहाँ जाना है, the Wire level पे जाना. So I'm watching it. मेरे को बहुत लोगों ने टोका कि तू like lists वगैरह बना रहा है, but The Wire नहीं देखा. So I'm currently on season 3 and I'm really like, it's very slow paced, but like I'm into it now.
I would love to see a curation by you of not existing stuff, but of stuff that you would like to see in the future.
Such a nice
That would
thing.
be cool. है ना? India में.
I was doing an episode with Raghav Joyal abhi 2 days back, and I told him I want to see a story of a dance choreographer. Like मेरे को बहुत fascinating लोग लगते हैं जो शादी की dance choreography करते हैं.
Yeah.
वो आ रहा है, उसकी लाइफ में कुछ तो सीन चल रहा है.
Yeah.
He's coming there, चाची को करा रहा है, फूफा को करा रहा है.
Yeah.
And even when he makes it big, क्या है मतलब शादी में डांस अच्छा करा दिया, and then his drive back to his home. And I've logged Raghav for it. He's like, patent kar le, I'll act in this, because he told me he has been a dance choreographer before. Initially in the before DID days.
Yeah, I remember.
And I find it very fascinating, the dance choreographers in shadis, or they have to be a certain way, and like कि किसको कौन सा मुखड़ा मिलेगा, कौन कैसे डांस. I haven't seen anything. I don't know if there's something out there on dance choreographers for shadis. बहुत fascinating.
It's interesting. I had this one thing about यहाँ पे सारे ideas फेंक रहे हैं हम लोग यार. But कोई भी बना ले, I think it'll be very interesting. This guy who I saw working with us on a film, उसका काम सिर्फ ये था, वो पूरा green suit में आता था.
हाँ.
है ना?
उसकी life.
हाँ यार. I thought, wow man, it'll be so cool ना. कि उसका क्या है? उसका पूरा एक
tangent क्या है?
हाँ, उसका लेकिन, and he knows everything. He was actually a light man who then turned into this, the green man.
You know, when I was in college, I made this like show called 60-second Conversations, where I'll get 2 people and make them talk about random things for 60 seconds. New people in every episode, and every episode will be 60 seconds long. Very Linklater type of a thing. And my first episode was about 2 people talking to each other. कि ये दुनिया में हर चीज़ के ad आते हैं, but have you ever noticed you never see an ad of a socks?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. Why?
This was my episode 1. Yeah. कि socks के बारे में क्यों नहीं ad आते हैं? Why is no one चड्डी बनियान everything? Why is no one making ads on socks?
I suppose there was some study that people go buy socks and undergarments when the economies are very low.
मैं तो कल ही गया था.
है पता नहीं. Sorry. Maybe not. But I mean, some study and some data. What else? What was episode 2?
It was about the languages you speak in dreams that you might not even know of.
I had one of these things. Do you see color in your? I don't see color. Do you see color? Do you remember color from your dreams?
Oh, very interesting, dude.
Remembering is one thing, but do you see color? Or do you see your dreams in color? Mine's very Chaplin-esque, so that's why I keep asking.
No, tell me what's.
That is all it is. It's just like a black and white film.
In fact, I asked this to my guest. Like, when you are in a dream, is it a POV shot, or are you seeing yourself in your dream?
And what did he say?
No, everyone says a different thing. Do you see, is it a POV shot when you are in a dream, or are you seeing yourself in the dream?
Both have happened. Yeah, okay. Mostly POVs, but both have happened. But I've had those in real life. Those out of body sort of things. Twice maybe.
Where you could see yourself like stepping out, and there's a term for this. Like there's a very spiritual term for this. I was doing a podcast with someone and they told me इस पे पूरा एक सदगुरु का वो भी है. There are a lot of like spiritual leaders which they have spoken about. Like out of body experience का एक बहुत बड़ा term होता है. Once you crack that, there's something there.
Interesting, yeah, could be. I mean, it was in front of the camera actually.
It was?
Yeah, I remember very clearly. I remember the exact shot also. I'm sitting on a bed, the camera is right in front of me. Yeah. There are come se kam 20 people in the room, in a dark room, because the lights are on me. And I'm behind them, because I can tell the people in my view, and I can see so specifically every single twitch on my face. Like the pores on your skin. And it was like this weird macro shot. And I just felt very powerful. Yeah, I could make, it was almost like canvas. You know, you could just move a few things here and there and a little bit here and
So every time you act, are you trying to get that thing again कि यार वो वापस आ जाए? होता होगा ना?
हाँ, अब उसकी लालच आ गई. But
लालच आ गई.
I think it only happened once.
ऐसी और क्या चीज़ें हैं जिनके बारे में हम सोचते हैं, जैसे डू यू सी कलर एंड ड्रीम, सच अ कूल थिंग. जैसे हम अभी इनकी बातें कर रहे हैं, चीज़ें like the quirks or the things which you might miss on.
Is this what people listen to now?
No, I'm not
Yeah.
saying it before because people will listen to it. I'm actually
No,
interested.
I'm thinking what, you know, I also keep putting pauses in my head and thinking, shoot, at the end of it, we're in front of a camera, we're mic'd, हम एक दूसरे से बातें कर रहे हैं, but I suddenly, you know, I'm constantly reminded that somebody somewhere is going to sit and watch and think, yeah, this is staged, man. Like, what's, you know, where do you draw the line? Where, if it's really honest, then the camera is not needed, right? Like, there's a really cool book, Charlie Kaufman की मैंने पढ़ी थी, and
I was literally thinking of Charlie Kaufman's Synecdoche, New York. I was literally thinking
there's
of
a great
that.
film also on that.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour. No, but Kaufman, I mentioned something in a book, and it was about these 4 or 5 characters, but the credit list has some 900 names. And the guy's like, what do you mean? What is this? And he says, but the story is about the people who couldn't make it in front of the camera. And they're there. So I was like, interesting thought, and it led to something very cool. Can't remember. I forget, man. How do you? So I asked Richa this somewhere. Yeah, we did some session the other day, and I was asking her this. Only because somebody on the aircraft saw a book that I was reading and said, I've read this book. I don't like any of the characters, but it's a great book. And I was like, if you like the character in a book or in a film, how far are you willing to watch this character unravel? How far? Like, do you somewhere draw the line? कि भाई ये अगर इसने किया तो मेरे moral उसमें दायरे में नहीं है. या morals you don't give a fuck about morals. Or what is morals? We don't know. चलो वो भी हटा दो. Somewhere as a human, carnal, your instinct कहते हैं उसे, जो भी बोल लेते हैं, एक word, शब्द, वो कहाँ जाता है? कहता है कि यार ये तो यार, is there something like this? Do you have a preconceived, or will you have to arrive at that point to be reminded कि now I don't like this character?
नहीं, मैं लेकिन उस वजह से रुकूंगा नहीं. Just there is a reason why the Frank Underwoods or the Breaking Bad characters हर में मतलब हम क्यों देखते हैं?
Game of Thrones, best example, correct?
At some point they kill someone and whom they don't want, a person they don't want to kill. You still watch it. You are very much interested in their lives.
Well, that's fine. Murderers, let's say.
Not necessarily murderers, but to reach at certain place, they also murder maybe their mother or their best friend or something like that. And you still watch it.
So you think it's projections of all the things that we'll probably never be.
Maybe.
In our lives as we know ourselves. Will never probably do some such acts, right? And so, have we reached a point where that raw, carnal, primitive brain says, "Hey, man, you know, I don't mind this. I don't mind watching this. You know, this is cool. Like, it's wrapped in a suit. I call him Jon Snow or whatever, you know. And this guy goes on slashing, or whatever. What's the king? What's his name?
King was bad one, yeah, sort of.
Whatever. But there's still like followers for everybody, right?
I'll ask you a counter question, not necessarily a counter question. I don't understand this thing people have for true crime. Like, people are sleeping to listening to these Ted Bundy murders or something. Everyone is into true crime. And
because ये वही हो गया ना कि मैं पाव से dopamine hit दे रहा हूँ और कोई
people are feeling
that's it.
Relaxed while listening to true crime podcast कि इसने फ्रिज में कैसे body डाली और ये वो. Like, a lot of people are seeking comfort from extreme like
Violence.
Violence and these serial killers going on their mysteries.
Fucking scary, man.
This is a big genre now, and like we run a recommendation channel, and every time I go out, if someone asks me, can you recommend me something true crime? True crime, true crime, true crime. The world is obsessed with it.
है ना? Everybody loves it. I don't know. I sometimes think it's like the, the races that used to happen before, and there was the world record was at one point, and then somebody broke that, and then everybody started running that timing, the previous world record. I suppose that's how it is. It's reached a point where now it's total numbness,
Yeah, man.
you know, or it will reach total numbness.
Yeah.
Maybe I like to think there's still.
Yeah.
uh,
No, this makes a lot of sense. This
ना?
is.
कि हम तो नम हो गए हैं, सारे 9 इमोशंस देखने हैं तो भाई टीवी खोल लो. We are functioning on, this is my zone, this is my genre. I go for true crime. But if you want something else, you want other emotions, then let's just open something. Let's play out the Sunday it's supposed to play out. Have a picnic.
But when you asked in the start, where is this going? Don't you think it's going towards just more violent stuff and people like, because it just works.
But you never know. It could also be going to a golden era. Imagine a total flip back. Okay. I mean, how about that? How about, when the OTT came to India, सब अपनी भड़ास निकाल रहे थे, right? सब गालियाँ, sexual content. Suddenly, if you realize it's gone down,
Yeah.
people have थोड़ा अभी संभल गए.
Right.
Slowly, I think there might be a way back in for patience for good storytelling. Maybe. I suppose when we get past the visual, pleasing, हम ढिंडोरा पीटते हैं. Sell the story, sell the story, sell the story, sell the story. Land हुआ, अच्छा हाँ, correct. बनेगा. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Does that make sense? ज़्यादा बोल गए आज हम लोग.
Do you have any documentary recommendations?
Ooh, I should just say Ted Bundy. Yeah, the story on Sixto Rodriguez, the gift. Oh man, what's it called? It's a beautiful story on the musician Sixto Rodriguez.
Searching
Gift shop.
for a
Searching for the gift.
Sugar Man.
Searching for Sugar Man.
Searching
sorry.
for Sugar Man.
Searching for Sugar Man. Which is one of his songs. यार बहुत हैं यार, मतलब it's endless. Sorry, I can't think off the top of my head.
Have you seen these docu-series? मेरे को लगता है the way sports and documentaries are coming together, like the new Beckham one.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Or like the basketball one. What was the Last Dance? Last Dance. I think it's very interesting how sports and documentary are meeting each other.
Any story, I think, again, it's the same thing, right? Who have all the creators and then listening to their stories. I suppose people are really, I think that's what people are into, right? Human stories.
Human stories.
That's the new word I'm listening on the streets.
Human stories.
Ad mat banao, human story banao.
Ad mat banao, human story banao. Nice.
Yeah, because there's so much disconnect. And the pandemic did that, right? Where we were all stuck.
Yeah.
So now we're desperately latching on to
Human stories.
But तुम कहीं और चले गए.
नहीं, मैं यही हूँ. Documentaries. Yeah.
What are your favorites?
Have you seen Icarus? There's this.
Oh man, I haven't actually. That's my confession.
But you know
it's big
what
one.
I'm
big,
talking
big,
about.
yeah.
I think of Icarus a lot. Then I watched While We Watched.
Yeah, that yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've seen.
I think you were there. Prithvi, were you
नहीं
there?
यार मैं आ नहीं पाया था. I finally watched it in London.
Yeah, that I really enjoyed अभी recent times में. There is this film I saw in Mami about this lady जो शहद इकट्ठा करती है. It's called Honeyland, if I remember it correctly. एक wars के ऊपर एक picture थी 2019 में. I think Middle East wars के ऊपर ही. For Sama. It was called For Sama. That was there.
Dude, I'm gonna take a list of these, man.
Yeah. And there is this great documentary on YouTube called Hypernormalization. कि basically अभी दुनिया में जो भी हो रहा है मतलब वो normal के तो उतना ऊपर जा चुका है but it is hyper normalized so you are okay with it. Like जो आप कह रहे हो ना cat video के बाद war आता है वगैरह, you will just consume it because we are living in a world of hyper normalization now. Did you watch All That Breathes?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there's this documentary called Placebo. It's about the suicides which happen in AIMS, and it's also about how exhausting the journey becomes when you are a doctor. It's an investigative documentary. It also won the National Award for Best Investigative something. बहुत प्यारी, बहुत ही उम्दा documentary है. Placebo, because it picks up 3 characters who are studying in AIMS and उनके perspectives. Very intellectual people who are talking. Movie चल रही है, someone dies. You should watch Placebo.
I'll check it out. It just reminded me of Navalny.
I haven't seen it.
You should watch that. It won. All That Breathes and this one was nominated together. Navalny won the Oscar. But I mean, All That Breathes won every other award that was possible in the world. I thought it was the best. But Navalny is an investigative piece on Alexei Navalny, Russia mein. So, my God, edge of seat like stuff. The guy's in jail now. There was one guy who got caught on camera. It's a 5-part end mein. In the end, there was a movie also made on this guy's this murder. And in the end of the documentary or something like that, he gets...
This sounds like a Netflix thing.
No, it was an HBO documentary. Oh man, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah.
What kind of music are you into?
It's very mixed. It's become mixed now. I used to love classic rock, but it's become, because of the films I do, I end up making a playlist for everything I do. If I'm working on something. Right. So, suddenly there's symphonies with rock music, with hip hop.
Great stuff, man. Like one of the last things I want to know, a thing you purchased for less than 10,000 rupees that you would recommend to everyone.
I don't know, man. Like Lego. Did you get Lego within 10,000? I think easily.
You would get some editions or some sets of Lego.
I love Lego, man.
You do?
Or get yourself a puzzle, those 10,000 piece puzzles.
Do you have a big Lego collection?
Yeah. I mean, it's all mixed up, but I keep getting new ones and keep trying to build.
Nice.
A lot of foot injuries.
This was amazing, Ali. Like, did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun, but I don't know how much is going to be on. Now I feel conscious after blurting out half-truths.
Yeah.
Or full, I don't know, man.
Guys, this was fully staged. We have been rehearsing it for last 14 days. This was
not bad, huh? Well done.
Well done.
We took inspiration from
Charlie Kaufman.
the Between Ferns. Zach Galifianakis.
Between two coffee cups, this is, and
with a phone and very dirty glasses.
Have you seen?
But not bad. है ना? We managed वो बीच में बस एक low चला गया था.
वो आपसे पूछूंगा, मेरा थोड़ा सा off हो गया था बीच में वो.
किधर?
उधर ना? आपको पता है वो where I आप बताना मेरे को. I was trying to intentionally break the rhythm and कुछ कीचड़ हो गया वहाँ पे थोड़ा.
No, it's okay. Next, you're calling this one, na? Who are you calling?
Next? I'm done for this.
You're done for this?
Yeah.
We can incorporate that experiment there.
Yeah.
You know, with whoever. And that'll be fun to watch these human experiments play out.
Yeah. This is very Charlie Kaufman-y like experiment we were trying to do, guys, today. So, yeah.
Hey guys, please subscribe to Chalchitra
Talks.
Why not Talkies? Talkies mein wo jata. Please subscribe to Chalchitra Talks. Please subscribe to Chalchitra Talks because it could be fun.
And when is the next Mirzapur season coming?
I think March maybe.
Nice.
March, April types.
Anything
I've done my
else
part.
you would like to plug? कुछ आपकी indie चीज जो दुनिया ने नहीं देखी है. Everyone should see his short film, by the way, The Astronaut and the Parrot. Yeah.
There's a movie called The Underbug.
Oh.
If you can find it, watch it. Nobody knows where it is. It's still, we won Slam Dance, which is a very indie festival. Happens next to Sundance.
I know of this.
But ऐसा थोड़ा सा 8 दिन में हमने फिल्म बनाई थी पैंडेमिक के बाद, तो बहुत हैवी है. हाँ, बट अगर मिल जाए कहीं जर्नी पे, कि मुझे भी नहीं पता कहाँ जा रही है. What else? Yeah, that's it.
And towards the end of the episodes, we give a hashtag कि अगर आपने यहाँ तक देखी है 2 घंटे conversation तो एक hashtag use करो. So give us a hashtag, कुछ weird सा, कि if you have watched till here, use this hashtag in comments.
Oh, hashtag भुगत लिए है ना. Survivor of the test, Survivor series. भुगत लिए guys. भुगत लिए है ना.
Yeah. चलो. Thank you so much. This was amazing.
I hope.
Hey guys, I hope you liked the episode. Tell me about your experience of longest interview. कैसे लगे आपको episodes? Because the last 6 months changed everything for us. Ever since we decided we do want to do long form episodes in person. And now we are working towards getting our next set of guests on the channel. Season 2 will be coming very, very soon. So would want your best wishes for it. If you have any recommendations of whom you would want to see in season 2, please do write in comments. I'll see you guys.